This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Monday. What is going on, everybody? It's your guy, Kings and Dreams. I hope everybody has a great start to this week. First and foremost, I just want to give a happy belated Father's Day to everybody who was a father who's watching the channel, or if you're not a father yourself, your father, your grandfather, stepfather. Hopefully, yesterday was a great day for all dads combined, right? So definitely want to give my kudos and shout outs. And it really shouldn't just be one day, man, because fathers really put in the work. And I'm definitely talking about fathers who consistently are there providing for their child and or children, but not just providing financially, giving guidance, actually spending time, right? Because I think what's important is, like, we have some fathers, they pay child support and stuff like that, right? And of course, kids or children, children, whatever, they have to eat. But the most important thing is time, and that's a currency that you can never get back, right? You can spend money, you can always get money back, but you can never get time back. And I think that is extremely important, man. So I just want to take the time out, hail up all of the good dads continuing to do the work, all the ones that, you know, you may not necessarily get the appreciation right now or as much appreciation as you feel as though you deserve. But me as a father, I can tell you that it is definitely not an easy task. And being there for your child or children, it's extremely important. And it may not be right now, but your children appreciate you. And if you haven't had a chance to talk to the men that raised you, whether it be a biological father, stepfather, or whatever, you know what I mean? You definitely should send them a text, give them a call, and let that man know that you really, truly appreciate them, man, because it is extremely, it's a tough job, man. And a lot of times it's a thankless job, for real. You know what I mean? So happy Father's Day to all of the gentlemen that are holding down their children, holding down their families, doing their thing, man. Definitely doing their thing. It's extremely important that we let these men know that they are appreciated and valued. You know what I mean? So definitely kudos to the big dads out there. You know what I mean? For sure. All right. So before I get into this topic today, as you can see, for those of you all who don't know, I'm wearing the Columbia shirt, right, of the Columbia soccer team, man. So, we're gonna talk a lot about traveling today, man. A lot about traveling today. And I'm extremely excited for this topic that's gonna come through, because we're gonna have fun with this one, man. And shout out to the Book of Alpha Rooney, man. I'm gonna do some reaction to some of his video, and I haven't watched his video. Um, and I know that I've heard that there's a clip of NBA player Paul, well, former NBA player, pardon me, Paul Pierce, that's going around. and I haven't seen the clip in its entirety, but we're gonna review that. A couple of things that I want to go over. Want to talk about some traveling things. So, going to be traveling at the end of this month, and then for August, I'll be traveling for about 2 weeks. Right. So, and then also going to be talking about where I'm going to be going towards the end of this year. So, I have three. Right now, I have three travel dates booked, but now there may be like some smaller weekendish trips that I may do. I'm not exactly sure yet of when I'm gonna do that, but nonetheless, your boy's here to travel, and I try to travel whenever I can because I have to pick and choose my pockets, right? That's extremely important. Let me switch this. Okay. All right. Let me give a couple of shout outs here. Shout out to my man Ellis Durrell. He says, I love dating overseas. Shout out to you, my brother. The Real podcast clips. Oh, okay. Saluting each other. My fault. Shout out to Knowledge and Relationships. Get the likes up. Man, like I said, listen, I would prefer a like over a super chat now. I still like super chats for sure. Also, Cash Apps, PayPal, whatever. But the likes are free 99. Share the video, like the video. Make sure that you all hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. Shout out to my man M3 Knowledge and Relationships. Make sure that you do check out his channel too, by the way. Shout out to my man Tim Howard in the building, man. Hit the like and notification icon button. Please share the content to as many people. Just basically reiterating what I mentioned. Like I said, likes are free 99. Likes are free 99. $0, $0, zero. Get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Yes, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Yes, if you're a dad, like I mentioned, man, happy Father's Day, man. Salute to you. That's big facts. Absolutely. My man, Garden Scientist, Kings and Dreams. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in the building, man. What's up with you, man? It's actually fun being a dad. Kids are awesome. Yeah, so let me kind of reiterate that. So I'm talking about yes, your children are awesome, but I'm talking about there may be other mitigating factors, if you will. Read into that what you will, but I wasn't referring to the children themselves, right? So you got to deal with especially if you're a dad, you're dealing with the court system, you're dealing with someone on the other side of that. So there's a lot of politics and bullshit and red tape that you got to comb through. You know what I mean? So I'm speaking about it without speaking about it, because I keep my personal business private only because, you know what I mean? Because I know that some people like to watch, you know what I mean? But you know what that is. So the kids is beautiful, man. I had a great day with my son, man. I had a great day with my son yesterday. Actually, we went to this place and we played mini golf, and and he's been trying to beat me for the longest time. So he's 11 years old. Just turned 11 in May. But I smoked him in mini golf, and then we hit the batting cages. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good time, man. Good time, good vibes. Good time and good vibes, man. I hope all of you dads enjoyed, man, for sure. Okay. So before we get to Alpha Rooney, I've been watching some videos, and I've just been noticing how a lot of the conversations that are happening, and whether it be mainstream media, I'm also getting ready to launch my. Oh, you know what? I forgot to post the link in here. Hold on. I got to post the link in here because I need you all to follow my Rumble. But let me continue saying what I was saying. So, when it comes to when it comes to like talking about dating topics on mainstream, right? Mainstream media and things like that. The more I watch, the more I'm just like, you know what? it's is dating in the United States even worth it, right? Having, of course, having like casual, right? Because I know, hey, listen, guys, you got to get it in. I completely understand that. I completely understand that, right? But in reference to having a serious committed relationship, is that even worth it at this point in time? And the more and more I think about it, I'm gonna say no. I'm really gonna say no. Hold on, I don't want this to play. I'm trying to find the link as I'm breaking it down. I'm looking for where's my Rumble? So I'm starting my Rumble channel, and I want you all to subscribe to my Rumble channel. Let me look for it. Like I said, we build it as we fly, man. We are live and we build it as we fly. All right, here we go. All right, moderators, make sure that you keep posting my Rumble link. So make sure that you do subscribe to my Rumble channel. My Rumble channel, I'm definitely gonna have some more direct, a bit more off the cuff content, right? So I can speak directly, and then and I'm gonna be doing some dating show reaction, international dating shows. Oh, I saw that already. Hey, you don't let your kids win. No, I don't let my son win. Nah, man. I mean, he's 11 years old, right? So he got close yesterday. He got close yesterday. So I think I beat him by like 7. Yeah. So I used to smoke him by like 20. You know what I mean? So he's getting up there. He's competing. He's competing. I would say in a few years he gonna smoke me, man. So, but as of right now, I'm still the guy. I'm still the guy to win. I'm still the guy to win. But do me a solid, really, really quick. In all seriousness, make sure that you go to Rumble, subscribe to my Rumble channel, Kings and Dreams. I'm really, really trying to build that. So hit that subscribe button. Go to Rumble. Moderators, if you could post a link as I'm talking, right? Definitely appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it now. I'm gonna go over a couple of videos. So the first video that I want to go over is Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is a retired NBA player. Used to play for the Boston Celtics. I think he had a stint with the Brooklyn Nets, but mostly popular playing with the Boston Celtics, right? And I think what he has to say, it just highlights, right? Because if you're talking about someone who is rich and wealthy, and he's talking about things are not working well over here in the States, go abroad, right? And this is someone that's rich. So what do you think? For us who, we may be higher echelon, but we're certainly not rich, right? So I definitely want to hear what he has to say. Let me see if I can go full screen on this. Okay, I can. All right. All right. Let me know if you are able to see my screen. Put a 1 in the chat if you are able to see my screen. Yeah, if you're able to see my screen, put a 1 in the chat. All right. I think this is it. Let me hide this. Okay, here we go.
It's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage an advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, pay, but what do it's only advantageous to a woman. Like, it's real talk. It's no advantage.
So, just with this quick clip, right? We know what the majority of the marriage laws are in the United States. Let me stop sharing my screen really quick. I have a couple of more clips to go through, but we know what the advantages are in the United States, right? And for me, the country of Colombia, right? Um, from what I understand, from what I know of, is that you pretty much split whatever you and your wife. Now, this is marriage. Whatever you and your wife. Now, what you came like when you guys were married. So let me rephrase that. I kind of said that sloppy. Let me rephrase that. So, as you both are married, and let's say you guys have a business or whatever the case is, right? And you guys decide to break up, you guys will split that 50-50. Now, let's just say you're a guy that's making, let's say, about 100,000 a year, right? Right. And you are marrying a woman, let's say she's making maybe about 40, 45, or whatever, right? And I'm talking about the country of Colombia. I'm just giving specifics here. All right. So out of that 100 grand that you're making, she's not entitled to that because you're already making that prior to be married. So I just think that the marriage laws, if you will, are just not it's not feasible for someone who wants to date within the United States to get married, right? And I believe this is why a lot of guys, whether you call them passport bros, blue book gentlemen, everyone that's in this travel space, right? Typically, most of us who get labeled that are either melanated, right? So we, when we get into serious relationships and or marriage, it's more feasible overseas, right? We don't have to deal with the bullshit. Who wants to deal with the bullshit, right? You know, so if you have someone like Paul Pierce who can say, we got to pay, you got to pay child support, you got to pay alimony, you got to pay all of these things, right? You look at what's going on. You look at even what's going on in most recently, right? We had the Shannon Sharp situation where you had the woman that was saying that, she was talking about what, 25K per ass cheek. Whether she's being, whether she's bullshitting or not, like no one wants to hear that bullshit. No one wants to hear that bullshit, man. So when it comes to dating abroad, having serious relationships abroad, it's seriously just more feasible. I just, and I know that there are some guys who can't go abroad full time. Like right now, like myself, I can't go abroad full time because I have my son here. But let me tell you this much. I know for those who, for those who are here, right, but who do travel, I know that the vast majority typically look to date abroad because of these things. I'm going to show you another video. Let me go here. I don't know why this didn't pull up. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had this already. I really thought I had this already. As I mentioned, we build when we fly, man. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Let me share this video. Now, I think this woman probably is from Eastern Europe. I'm gonna say she's probably from Eastern Europe. But she talks about dating abroad, and let's see. Okay. How do I hide that? I can't hide that. Okay. I'm trying to close the chats just in case some of y'all try to be nosy and message my people, man. This ain't got nothing to do with my people. This is about what's going on the screen here. Because some of y'all ninjas, man. Some of y'all ninjas be wild. All right, here we go.
Before I come to America, I didn't understand why so many American men came overseas to Ukraine to find a wife.
Okay.
So for me, it was very strange why men go so far away, spend so much money, and etc. And today I understood why, because we have.
She's based as hell. Ukraine. She fucking gets it. Super bass. Yo. Continue on. Yeah.
So I think because we have much bigger family values, and we love to feel like a woman, and we love to see the man like a man. And I think I'm a bit older than all of you girls, and I can tell you in my 36 years old, I love when men care about me. I love sometimes when he tell me what to wear, because it's a care, it's a love. How man else can show you the love? If he just wanna fuck you, he don't care what you're wearing. Believe me, he don't care. He just come and fuck you and leave. But if he care about you, he tell you, baby, please do this, do that. So this is care, a care. This is kind of love. So just appreciate it.
Wow. That was amazing.
All right. Yeah, let me run that back again, man. I gotta run that back again. Yeah, she was talking her shit.
Before I come to America, I didn't understand why so many American men came overseas to Ukraine to find a wife.
Okay.
So for me, it was very strange why men go so far away, spend so much money, and etc. And today I understood why, because we have.
She's based as hell. Ukraine. She fucking gets it. Super bass. Continue on. Yeah.
So I think because we have much bigger family values, and we love to feel like a woman, and we love to see the man like a man. And I think I'm a bit older than all of you girls, and I can tell you in my 36 years old, I love when men care about me. I love sometimes when he tell me what to wear, because it's a care, it's a love. How man else can show you the love? If he just wanna fuck you, he don't care what you're wearing. Believe me, he don't care. He just come and fuck you and leave. But if he care about you, he tell you, baby, please do this, do that. So this is care, a care. This is kind of love. So just appreciate it.
Wow.
All right. So that's the second video. I think, so with this woman, so she's from the Ukraine, right? And what she just essentially was saying, she was wondering why guys are going overseas and getting into these relationships with women, right? So getting on a flight, going to Ukraine, going to other parts, right? Other different continents, Europe, Africa, Asia, so on and so forth. But what's the main thing? The main thing, what she said was, she was saying that she likes to feel like a woman. She likes to feel that security, as far as her being a woman. And when the guy is explaining that he doesn't like something that she's wearing, right? And the thing is that, like, there always seems to be like this power dynamic, this power struggle, where if the guy is saying, hey, babes, I'm not really feeling that, or it's like, well, you can't tell me what to wear or what have you, it's not necessarily saying like, hey, like, do this, do this or else. It's more or less like saying, you can do that, but you're not going to you're not going to be seen with me, or I'm not going to treat you the same way as I would a woman who I'm taking seriously with, right? Because, all right, there's something that there's something that I used to do a lot, all right? So for all of you guys who don't know, I used to manage one of the biggest nightclubs in New York City. I came from throwing parties, events, right? So now I was what was called a street team back when I was back when I was 14 years old. Shout out to the Flyboy Way, my man Unicorn, right? We used to be on the street team. It used to be called Terror Team, all right? And so this is from freshman year. Then after high school, we started doing college parties, and then in college parties, then we kind of branched out and started whatever doing our own thing. But I have been doing events since I was 14 years old, always throwing parties and stuff like that, right? So I'm saying all that because I'm used to being around women, being comfortable with women. Right before social media, there was no you shoot like a DM or a text or whatever. So I'm always comfortable having conversations with women face to face, whatever. Now, this is something that I would do, right? So, what I would do is, let's say there's a woman who I'm interested in. I would tell her something about myself, like I would tell her something savage that I did, right? So, something savage that I did one time, like one day, like I ended up hooking up with three different chicks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, right? Three different chicks. So then this woman proceeds to tell me, she did something kind of similar. Now, what I did was I put her in the smash category. Why did I put her in the smash category? Because this is not a woman that I would take to my family, right? Now, the thing is, you say, oh, equal. No, there's no equal bullshit. That's bullshit over here. Reason why it's bullshit over here is because the thing is that, men, we care about a woman's past. Women care about a man's future. Where is he going? Right. And so what we care about is where has she been? Why does all of this correlate? The reason why all of this correlates is because when you are typically, not saying all the time, right? We're not going to say all the time because westernized is starting to seep through everywhere in the world. But what I will say is men are realizing that they have more of an opportunity to actually be with a woman who is not fully westernized or may not even be into all of the westernized bullshit, and be able to have a conversation with her and explain to her if she's wearing something or about to wear something that's inappropriate, and say, hey babes, you know what, nah, this isn't gonna fly for me, as opposed to um over here, right, where it's like, hey babes, oh nah, like, oh, you're insecure and all this other bullshit. Nah, bro, that shit don't fly over here, man. Doesn't fly over here. Let's see. Let me give a couple of shout outs. Oh, shoot. Shout out to my man Sheldon, the blind traveler, man. This is my dude. All of y'all, please do me a solid. Check out Sheldon, the blind traveler's page. My man is from Toronto, and yes, he is actually blind. He was not born blind. And I've actually did a live stream with him. He explains how he did become blind, but he is traveling the world. I know that I want to say maybe about a month ago, he just came back from the Dominican Republic. I know he was out in Poland back in like February or January. I don't know how you do that, traveling to Poland in the middle of the winter. My dude, you crazy. Wouldn't have did it, but whatever, man. But I applaud this guy for the fact that he is actually able to, travel, right? He's able to travel and explore, and he is actually blind. So yeah, man, if you want to talk about passports or perish, this is one guy, man. He says, yo, you know what? Even though I legally can't see, that doesn't mean I can't fulfill my dreams, man. So salute to you, my brother. Big Sean TV's in the building. Shout out to my man Big Sean TV. Hey man, you know what? My man Big Sean and I, we will actually be out in Cali for Petronio Alvarez, man. That's going to be in August, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. Let's see. Tim Howard says the Truth also played with the Nets and the Wizards. Oh yeah, Paul Pierce. I don't remember him playing with the Wizards, but I remember him playing with the Brooklyn Nets. She literally schooled the ignorance out of them. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing. When when you have a woman from another country saying, "Wow, I realize why all of these men are going to my country as opposed to finding women in your country," and she's in a panel full of all women, and it doesn't. I'm not talking about sisters, or I'm talking about all women, black, white, Asian, what have you, right? But I'm saying she sat there in front of all of these women and told them, like, "Hey, listen. Nah, I see why dudes are not fucking with y'all. Dudes they're going to Ukraine, they're going to Vietnam, they're going to Thailand, they're going to Colombia, they're going to Brazil. They're going to Ghana, they're going to Kenya, they're going to Tanzania, right? Ethiopia. They're not staying here. And guys are saying, yo, like, forget that. Forget that. And I want to be clear when I say this. I'm not saying that there's not good women in the United States. What I am saying is that there's so much bad that to sift through, it's hard to see the good. Let me say that again. There's so much bad to sift through that it's hard to see the good. Oh man, B. Williams says, "What's up, Kings? Hey, what's going on, brother? What is going on? Hey, do me a solid. Make sure that you hit the likes on your way in. As I mentioned, the likes are free 99. Definitely. Thank you for that plug. Make sure that y'all do subscribe to Sheldon the Blind Traveler's page. Here's the link for that. Let's see here. The way to go. Okay. Yeah, the way to go. Okay. All right. And let me get to my next. Yeah, I figured as much. You all good, Tim. The way to go. All right. So let's see. Let me do my next video. All right. So this one has the book of Al-Faruni, and he talks about dating is dead in America. You might as well get your passports. Shout out to the book of Al-Faruni. I have not watched this. I wanted to make sure that I'm giving a genuine reaction. So we're going to react in real time, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to this brother. All right, let's see.
I'll be in the joint. You go back like 8 tracks.
All right.
Male species. Think about.
Hold up.
That shit. Why? Because the men who have those things together don't want them. Let me tell y'all something. The only guys who really believe women have all of these options are guys who tell you lies about women. Women don't have a lot of options because the majority of men who are already in that position, they think about legacy. Now, there are some black guys in America who don't think about legacy, they were just going to make as much money as they can, then die and leave it to maybe a nephew or a niece or something like that. They're going to leave it to somebody else. So they don't think about their own legacy. But the majority of men on the planet think about their own legacy. All male species think about their own legacy. So the majority of men in those positions already are in pursuit of of leaving that legacy. So the best space they have is as a sister wife, which these women in America aren't really with too much, unless they're actually in the truth and live certain spiritual lifestyles. And that's a very small, a minute percentage, not even measurable. You can't even, it doesn't count. Or they got to be a side chick, or they got to be something that a man play with. Those are their options. Or they have to deal with a man who has none of that. And a lot of them are starting to find out they got to deal with a man who has none of that. Because the thing is, what we understand and what we always understood is that independent woman mindset. I can do what I want to do. I can sleep with who I want to sleep with. I can do whatever it is. I can, all of those things. We already knew. We already knew the chick was going to come home to roost on that. So we just been grinding. We ain't been paying no attention to it. We ain't been trying to hold women back from nothing. We don't talk bad about them. We let them be whatever kind of 304 they want to be, whatever kind of boss chick they want to be. They can be all of that because we knew the chickens were going to come home to roost. We knew it. We knew that 7 women would grab a hold of one man and say to him, we will buy our own raiment, which is clothes. We will buy our own food. Only let us be called by their name to take away our reproach. It is not a good thing for a woman to grow old alone. It's just not a good thing. And
okay. All right. So the brother said a lot here, right? Definitely, when it comes to this independent BS, right? It's a lot. It's a lot of BS. And what I mean by independent, like basically, I'm not saying that a woman can't have her own independence, pardon me. But what I am saying is when it comes to just saying that men don't fit into her equation until she sees fit. Now that's the backwards way of thinking, right? Because what the truth of the matter is, what you are seeing now is that men get chastised when they could be 50 something and they come out with a bad 25-year-old, bad 20-year-old, right? And it's like, oh, she's a child and all of these things, right? But then you got the Stella, what is it called? How Stella got her groove back, ladies. And she can be 45, 50 years old with a 22-year-old guy. And it's like, hell yeah, girl, go do your thing. No issues, right? No issues. But the shaming is crazy work. It's crazy work. I don't know. And actually, let me get some feedback from the chat here because I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys have traveled. Some of you guys are expats, right? But I can tell you from my own experience, or observing rather, when especially in Latin America, shoot, even in the Caribbean, you will see a guy 40, 45 years old with a 19, 21, 22-year-old chick, and it's nothing. And that could be his wife, and they have a couple of kids. No issues. No issues. Going back into what I had said earlier, women care about a man's future. Men care about a woman's past. So usually when you have a woman, usually there's always outliers, but usually when you have a woman who's late 30s, 40s plus, and she's single, right? Super red flag. She's stuck in her ways for a couple of reasons, right? Hyper career focused, typically a man eater, has masculine characteristics, things that men don't want, right? So why would we want to, as men, date a woman who is pretty much stuck in her ways, so to speak? Now let's flip that on the other side. We got a man who's, let's say, 50 years old, right? And there's a woman that's 24, 25, right? And she's willing to be on this program What does that mean, right? Let me break that down. Willing to be on this program just means that, you know, she's agreeable, she's cooperative, and doesn't mean that she just does every single thing that he says and she doesn't have an opinion. What it means is that she values what he brings to the table, and what she's looking to do is how can she help him add on to what he already has going on. That's what that means, being a part of a man's program, right? Because I always hear this pushback, oh, like, oh, guys just want women to be a slave. No, man, cut that bullshit out. What it means is that, okay, we have a goal in mind, right? And we are achieving that goal. Can you actually figure out what it is that can help us achieve this goal or achieve goals that we're trying to obtain, right? Can you be peaceful, right? And of course, I always go back to what I was saying. It's not about all women, oh, you know, all Western women. Nah, I can't say that. But like I said, when sifting through the pile of shit, it's hard to find some good ones. And there are some good ones. There are some good gems. I know a lot of good gems personally, but I can tell you this much: a lot of the good gems, they're married. So it's crazy. Let's see. Yes, what I meant to say at first. Oh yeah, no, you're all good, brother. Cortez, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a little minute. How you doing, brother? I slightly disagree with him on the problem is that women have too many options. No, I think you misunderstood what he said. He said women don't have too many options. Yeah, I think you misheard that, brother. He said they don't have too many options. America has a male abundance according to the stats. Yeah, yeah. So that's what he was saying. So yeah, I think you need to just rewind that a little bit, Cortez. But essentially, what Alpha Rooney was stating was that women don't have too many options, and you know, he was saying like the chickens have come home to roost on when they're saying like they don't need a man and things like that, right? Because due to the fact that there are so many women chasing this higher echelon man, that to the point where they're either going to have to be either a sister wife or they're going to have to take the side chick route, right? Because like there's so much top tier men that are leaving. I don't think, you know, I'll say this because I'm going to be interviewing this gentleman in a couple of weeks, so I'm not going to say his name, but there's a gentleman who's teaching men how to work overseas and essentially get at least 100K or more, and they can live anywhere in the world, right? So, and there is about maybe a little under 2,000 men of all races, you know, taking his classes, right? So, what does that mean? That means that you're pretty much going to have um, a whole bunch of high value caliber, at least high caliber men that are going to be able to work anywhere in the world, and they're making the U.S. equivalency of $100,000. So, and in some, you know, and in a lot of countries, you just making 50 to 60,000, you are already in the top 10%, right? And some countries, you're in the top 1% if you're making 50 to 60,000 US, right? So just imagine having $100,000, and with this person teaching this class, right, with you know, teaching about 2,000 men, and he's going to continue to keep teaching this class. So what happens is more and more men are going to enroll and more men are going to leave. So that just focuses more on what Alpha Rooney is saying, to where you got basically a 7-to-1 ratio, what he was saying. So one man, 7 women want him, right? So you're gonna either be come to the fold to where you're gonna be a sister wife, or you're gonna be six man coming off the bench, essentially being a part of the basically being a rotating piece. Let's see what he says. Oh yeah, okay, he's from your city. Okay, that's what's up, man. Blessings, man. Shout out to you. Definitely appreciate you watching, my brother. Okay. All right. Let me get back into it.
And when they get older, they realize it. But let's take a dive into this, man. Now they're dating whoever. Not because, I know I put in the title, salacious title, not because they hate us, because they can't have us. The eligible bachelors in America, dog, we do not want these types of women. We don't want women who think it's all about them, who cater to their own selves, who think everything we do should be based on them. We don't do none of that. We don't think about that. You know what we do? Y'all see that thumbnail? Even if you don't like to fly, guess what you can do? You can fly one into you. And they say, don't bring her to America. You can. You just got to keep it in the country. And let me tell you something. When I say the country, I ain't talking about the South. Everywhere I got the country. Listen, I can ride you through any state you want to. As far as you want to go up north, in New York, I can ride you through somewhere that got nothing but cows and pastures and fields and crops and all of that. It is everywhere in the United States. There is a countryside. And all you got to do is get you one over here and keep it in the countryside. You understand me? That's all you got to do. And I'm telling you this because I know it. Now, how I know it, maybe I'll share that with y'all on Patreon, but I know it. So let's get into this thing, man. First, we're going to listen to Corey Holcomb do a drop.
Hold on. So, very, very true. So, well, Alpha Rudy just mentioned, right? Like, a lot of guys say, don't bring them over here. Don't bring them over here. And I am one of those guys, but I do know guys who have brought them over here and it has worked out or has been working out. Now, what I will say is, on this side for guys who have to stay over here, right? Like you can bring them over here, but what he just said was essentially keep them in the tuck, right? So don't, like, if you're a guy who lives in the New York City metropolitan area, right? You don't want them hanging around Midtown Manhattan. If you are in Atlanta, you don't want them hanging out around downtown Atlanta. You know what I mean? Or downtown Los Angeles if you're in LA, or if you're in the Bay Area, you don't want them hanging out in downtown Oakland or Frisco, right? Definitely don't bring them to Richmond. Oh yeah, man. Shout out to the Bay Area. I do know about Richmond. Richmond is wild. But nonetheless, the point is that, like, you keep them in the tuck, man. You keep them on the countryside, right? Away from all of the bullshit to where they could get manipulated by the bullshit shenanigans. You know what I mean? So that's what he's saying. But I do want to get to, because he has a video that he's going to play with Corey Holcomb, and then we're going to get to it. So I'm probably going to go to maybe about the 30-minute mark, and then I'm going to close out.
Rob, he gonna talk his talk about why things have become the way they are, and how we as men already knew it was gonna turn into this. First, let's watch a couple of clips of what they're doing with themselves now. Watch this. Damn, boy, wait a minute. Look at that woman right there. That woman right there is built like a donkey. Look at her.
Yeah, what country is this?
And the other woman that proposed to her is fine. They both fine. And look at them. They about to get married. They got their rings on. Look at them. Sitting there kissing.
Oh, yeah.
What the world is coming to. But listen, we don't have a problem with that. The world is coming to that because it's not that we don't exist. They can't have the top level men, like the men who are available, eligible bachelors who have their stuff together, just don't want American women. We just don't. We don't want American women. And that's just the way it is. I mean, now there's some guys out here who still out here playing. They'll play with them, but they ain't gonna stay with them. They'll play with them, but they ain't gonna stay with them.
Let that marinate. Let that marinate, right? You know what I mean? You're gonna have fun for a little bit, but like that's not a long-term resolution. It is not a long-term resolution, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this for the ladies. Ladies, you know, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, Snapchat, all of these things. They're popping, you're getting direct messages. You got the outfit, your body is banging, you looking good. Dudes in your DM saying, yo, I'm gonna drink your bath water, all this other stuff. Dudes like, yo, let me take you out, right? You lit, right? You lit. No doubt. Messages off the chain, off the hook. Okay. How many of these dudes do you think would actually take you to meet their mom, meet their family, actually put a ring on your finger, right? Now, don't get it twisted. They'll fly you out. They'll blow your back out. They'll shoot the club up. Shit, some of these niggas will even knock you up. How many of them are going to take you to their mom, willing to give you their last name, and take you seriously? I just want that to marinate for some of the women who think that their shit don't stink. Because attention is completely different, right? Now, you see these women on my screen, these women marrying each other, right? Now, who knows? This could be a ploy. Maybe this could be real. But what I can tell you is that it does nothing. This does nothing for men. Men, we don't care. As Alfaroni says, we don't care. We don't care. Because I can almost tell you one of them is going to spin the block and hit one of them high value dudes up and see what's up, man. I think this is a game right here. But I'm gonna let the brother cook some more, man.
And it's not that guy. Let me tell you something. Many men want to leave a legacy behind, but they're afraid. When you think about how men who have money and have their shit together are afraid to impregnate an American woman, how do you think you're desirable to the top level of men when they're afraid to even impregnate you? When they're afraid that some child support is going to come from that? When they're afraid that some other foolishness is going to come from that? Wait a minute, though. Let's keep going. Let's look at them one more time. See what I mean? That's the world we live in today. And you ought to see the guys in the comments talking about, oh, man, they this, and they that, and they all this and that. And I'm going to tell you something. They all this and that if all you think about is their physicality. And when you look at a woman's physicality and that's all you think about, all that's on your mind is being intimate with her. Ain't nothing that's on your mind.
Yep.
Now, y'all peep game. Mello.
Women that have more than 2 baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness. Every time you get pregnant, there's stem cells that come from that baby, and that's them stem cells.
Hold up, man. I ain't got no volume on this stuff. Hold up, man. Is it me, or do I just not have the volume turned up on it?
Nah, the volume is up, man. Come on, let's go to it.
Most of my sisters.
Hold up, man. Ain't nothing got no volume on it? Y'all hold up, man. Can y'all hear that, man? Y'all put a one in the chat if y'all can hear it playing.
Nah, we hear it, Ronnie. Come on, man. Hold up.
Daddies usually have some sort of mental illness. Every time you get pregnant, there's stem cells that come from that baby, and that's them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart, and those stem cells will always stay with you, right? That is why any black man born in America, I can't with you. Most black men born outside of America and everything else.
So that's where we're gonna ask. Why?
Exactly.
Okay, girl. Why, child?
Because I think my body is rejecting these American.
Damn! Wow.
My bloodline's like no.
Yo, is Tiffany Haddish trying to be a passport sister? Oh snap! Hey guys, as I mentioned, I'm just seeing this for the first time. So Tiffany Haddish is trying to be a passport sister. Okay, all right. I don't know what guy. See, here's the thing, man. You know, not too many guys, especially in Africa, in the continent of Africa. Tiffany Haddish has what, 2 kids, if I'm not mistaken, right? So she has 2 kids, and I don't know many men in Africa, especially when you talk about like high caliber men, right? Because I mean, I know she's rich or she's doing well for herself. So unless she's willing to be the primary provider, but still have to be submissive, this ain't gonna work, sis. This ain't gonna work.
No. Wow. No.
And that's why I'm a little bit crazy.
So you need this nut.
Or a white dude.
Oh. Now, when you hear that, man, we're talking about Tiffany Haddish. Let's keep it a book. And this ain't no knock on Tiffany Haddish, man. But ain't nobody checking for Tiffany Haddish, man.
Nope.
She was with Common. But Common was also with Serena Williams. And Common already got beat by the Erykah Badu bug. And even with Erykah Badu, she had him on some celibacy stuff. I don't even think he smashed. So Common, a great rapper, man. He a good dude, man. He well plugged in Chi-Town. That boy owns some property in Chi-Town, a lot of it. He well plugged in, man. He one of the big dogs in Chi-Town. But when it come to women, he know as much about women as a monkey know about flying an airplane. You understand what I'm saying? He's trying to deal with women from a spiritual perspective. You deal with women from him perspective. You are a spiritual man. You deal with women based on biblical text. The biblical text says, keep your gaiters on her neck. Now, I don't say those exact words, but when you look at how strict biblical text is, when you look at how strict patriarchal societies were, when you look at how women had to be held in control, because without being held in control, they're quickly out of control, then you understand that he's the type of guy that would be with Tiffany Haddish. Man, there ain't nobody, I've never heard anybody say anything about being attracted to Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is leaving here because she can only get the lowest level of men. You know what I mean? Only the lowest level of men who don't have anything going on, who look at her as a star and probably look at her as a possible bag, getting to the money. Those are the only men that she can get. So when you hear her say this, she got to go out of here and she's rejecting, her body is rejecting her. None of that even matters. But any excuse to not just accept the fact and admit the fact that the top level black men in America, the ones who do have degrees, the one who are high earners, the one who are in phenomenal shape, the one who are, having business owners, multiple businesses, the one who do have real estate, the one who do have prestige and range, and the one who do have their own motion, and the ones who do have pull and are able to influence other people. They don't want her. So she ain't got no choice. Nobody's trying to wipe her up or anything like that. But you may say, okay, BOA, well, that's Tiffany Haddish. And then those first 2 girls, yeah, they may have been fine, BOA, but you got to let me know more than this, BOA. What is this? Okay, we've been known that women who can't get the man they won't just go be with anybody they can get with. We know dudes do that too. We've been knowing that pretty girls always end up being, I'm going to be honest with you now, this is my first time really seeing 2 absolutely beautiful feminine women get married like that. It's always usually one woman who thinks she's supposed to be a man. That's a
Right.
for me right there. I'm not saying they don't exist. Them two fine women right there getting married. Hey man, but let's keep going though. I don't want y'all to say, man, I'm tripping, and I'm going overboard. Y'all take a look.
Hold up. Before we continue, let me just get bounced back in the chat. Let's see what's going on here. Thank you so much, Miss Polly, for the $1.99 super sticker. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. Remember, monogamy is a modern invention gay Catholic men help promote. Yeah. You're going to be one whether you like it or not. Yeah, you're talking about being part of the rotation. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? So, I mean, you gotta. I mean, even so, like if you do the calculation, there's actually more women in the United States than men anyway, right? So, and then you have to incorporate, as you have mentioned, like the alphabet community, right? When it comes to men, and then you want higher caliber men. I mean, there's some women who will date a guy who will be making like 80 and above, but what's the median, right? So the median, I would say, is probably around between 60 65 annually, right? And I would say in black men is probably around 55, but even with that, like it's it's overwhelmingly, yes, you're gonna have to be a part of a rotation no matter what. I agree with that. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Likes are free 99. Make sure that you do share the video. Share the video for your boy. Like the video. One of my fellow co-workers did that. Brought them to America. Oh, had fun and sent them back. Okay. All right. So he got himself a loner. Understood. Yeah. He's talking about sorry, let me go back to this. Yeah, so he was talking about, I think, having somebody like as a keeper. How many of these dudes were raised by men? Which dudes are you referring to? Miss Polly says hello, fellas. Hello, Miss Polly. How you doing? Thank you so much for popping in, and I appreciate the super sticker as well. Remember, holes are public property. All right. I agree with what he was talking about. Foreign women want to visit the United States and become too westernized in different downtown areas of different cities of the states. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, absolutely, right? Because what Western culture is seeping through no matter what. Like you have social media, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have Facebook, right? Snapchat. You have all of these things where Western culture is seeping through no matter what, right? But the best way, if a guy were to bring a woman to the United States, you don't want to have them in the metropolitan area. That's not going to work. That's not going to work, man. They're going to become westernized, and nah, man. Oh, okay. Let's see. She's copying Passport Bros. Taraji P. Henson says she's a passport girl too. They can't stop following us. Well, see, that's the thing, right? Because all things are, all things were created equal, but all things are not equal, right? And when now a guy can be considered high caliber and he can have 4 or 5 kids. Can a woman? I don't think so. Right. So it's just the truth of the matter. Just the truth of the matter. I mean, like Taraji, she looks great for her age. Right. Tiffany Haddish, I don't think that she was not unattractive, but like I would say as years have gone on, like, she definitely doesn't look as attractive as she once did. But Taraji, she's still fairly attractive, but like I like her as an actress, but like she would be somebody. I don't see any higher caliber dudes checking for Taraji in a serious sense, right? I just don't see that. She can afford it. Why not? Yeah, I mean she can always afford to leave. Yeah, subscribe to my Rumble channel, Kings and Dreams. This is the Rumble channel. Definitely make sure that you do subscribe to my Rumble channel. Getting that up and started. So I got a couple of videos on there. Make sure that you do subscribe to my Rumble channel. I'm definitely getting this thing off the ground. Talking to each other. Any type of man that she gets with, she's going to have to give up some money if they're not in the US. Well, yeah. So, but the problem is CJ, right? Like she would be the breadwinner, but would she be willing to, would she be willing to actually listen to him? And even though she was the breadwinner, would she want to be in a more submissive role, right? Because I know men over there, they're not going to be wanting to deal with that. They're not going to want to deal with that unless they're trying to get their green card or something and come to the United States. They criticize us, male and female. Now they're trying to follow our path. At least they're learning now. Interesting. And every video I see is them complaining about how hard it is. The U.S. has a 50-50 male to female ratio. No, it's 51-49. That's another thing. There's a shortage of women because women are the vast majority of the alphabet community. Oh yeah, likes and sharing helps too. Yeah, okay. And I might have to wrench Cortez Smith up, man. But yes, definitely make sure that you get those likes up. Those likes are free 99, man. Free 99. Okay, let me get back to this video.
Take a look.
Sisters, the roosters are coming home. Everything you did is gonna come back on you because they have people in place, government-wise, to show you we used you to destroy the village. Now we really have no use for you no more. Your daddy ain't there. Your husband ain't there.
Nope.
Your son is raised wrong. Your daughter is watching you twerk. You have done what we wanted you to do well in destroying the village.
Hey, listen, man. Can y'all hear me, dog? Somebody saying I'm muted. Dog, I ain't muted. It's on your end, dog. And no one else has said it, man. You gotta check yourself, Clips. You gotta check yourself. Can everybody else hear me? All right, bet. You gotta check yourself, dog.
Mother of your child is probably in court with you over nothing. You ate from the forbidden tree. You went and used a system that destroys you to destroy your family. And now they had no use for you. Remember all the female black mayors and everything that was happening and all like that?
Yeah.
They ain't got no use for that shit no more.
And listen, y'all remember how they took all those black mayors, those female black mayors and the district attorneys and all that, and just figured out a way to get all of them all out of their seats, to get all of them out of position. It was always something legal they were doing. It was always something, and somebody lured them into that stuff because they're easily misled into something that's better. You could give them whatever you want to give them, but it's never enough for a woman. So if you telling a woman that, you taking too little, you can get more. You don't have to just take that. You don't have to pay those people. You can skim some off the top. No. Get you a man. You need a man. And here's the thing. No matter what position you put a woman in, eventually she's going to need a man because she's made female based on her desire for man is there because she's created from man. You understand me? That desire is always going to be there. So you look at Fannie Wills. When she got in there, what happened to her? A man. She put a man in a position. Hey man, listen, man. Look, all a woman got to do, man, is get hit with some dope wood, dog, and she out of her mind. That woman up, what's her name? Tiffany Hinger, whatever her name is, up in Illinois. What happened to her? It happens all over the place, bro. I'm telling you. It's always going to happen. Because when you put a woman in position, you put her in that position because you believe you can control her. Even your wife. If you put a woman in a wife position in your life, you put in that position because you believe you can control her. You believe that she will follow your rules. You believe that she will do what she's told. You believe that she will take care of the responsibilities that you dole out to her. That's why you put a woman in a wife position. That's why you put a woman in. If you have a child with a woman, you put that woman in that position to be the mother of your child because you believe she gonna raise your child the way you tell her to raise it. That's what you believe. And it's the same thing in the system. You put a woman in a position of power in any organization. You put her in there because you believe that the men who are truly at the top can still control her.
Abso-freaking-lutely, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Bars. Chickens have come home to roost, man. The chickens have come home to roost. And I know that Corey Holcomb was talking about black women. I'm gonna say due to the fact that, with the United States kind of being more of a bigger melting pot, so to speak, it's really all westernized thinking women who have this mindset, right? Who have this mindset where, I can do all bad by myself, and it's okay. It's okay because you are doing bad by yourself, right? And it's a lot of man hating, right? And there's no accountability. I mean, none, zero accountability for any actions that you've taken, right? And the chickens have come home to roost. Absolutely. I'm gonna finish the rest of this. Let me see. I'm probably gonna go maybe for 5 more minutes, and then I'm probably gonna do a part 2. No, 10 more minutes.
We are the most educated. Yes, they sold you a degree that ain't gonna be worth it. You who have aged out and fell for the sucker shit in destroying your village, your family, and yourselves, the only thing you can do is try to tell your children, don't do what I did. All you women 40, 50, 60, it's over for you. You need to explain to you.
If you are 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, and you are not married, ladies, it is essentially over. It is essentially over. And now, there's always outliers. But the standards that you thought were here, they're going to have to come down to here, come down to here, come down to here, come down to here, come down to here. The standards have changed. You see, this is what I call the seesaw effect. I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos and things like that. Maybe those who are new to watching, right? Okay. So, ladies, this is how it is, right? Let's go 18 to 25. You're up here, right? Men, this is men here, 18 to 25. Okay. Right? 25 to 35. Right? Okay. 35 to 45. 45 to 55. You get what I'm saying? This is the seesaw effect. It's just the truth of the matter. The numbers don't lie. There's always an outlier. I know somebody watching this to say, oh, my auntie this, my whoever my cousin is, or ladies, you could be 40 plus and watching this and you say, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me, or it didn't happen to me. Hey, you know what? God bless you. You know what? You got lucky. But what I am saying is that the overwhelming majority, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And this is why more and more guys are getting their passports because of what is going on in the United States of America, the United States of the corporation, right? Because you had your fill of being manipulated into thinking that, oh, I am this girl boss. I don't need a man. Or, I'm just supposed to hyper focus on school. Once you're done with school, then you find a man. Then you realize, oh shit, while I was in school, I should have been focusing on getting a man too. Degrees of separation, the seesaw effect. These are things that I've been talking about for fucking years. I'm going on 4 years. Sorry. Yeah, 4 years of being on here. 4 years. July 21st will make it 4 years. I'm telling you, the degrees of separation, the seesaw effect, however you want to call it, this is why dating is dying. And it is just one of those things in the United States where it's essentially situationshipville. If you are not married now, you are likely going to be in a situationship.
Your children. Don't do what I did. Don't go around here talking about you don't need a man publicly. Don't go around bashing men for the most part publicly. Because all these women who are on the internet for bashing men, there's a record of it, and I think we need to keep a record of these women in case they try to act like they something different later on. I'm talking to...
Listen, not just those women. We got to keep a record of the women who are pandering. See, let me tell you something. A woman like Sarah Fontenot, pretty little chick, done messed around and slipped up and let it be known that she's had 2 engagements that failed, and one of the men almost paralyzed her. Think about that. You mean to tell me she still loves men? Nope. She just found a pandering point to pander to men. She's pandering to men. Let me tell you something. People who pander to you hate you. Yada Awakening don't like women. That's why he panders to them and sells them dreams. People who sell you lies, they hate you. People who love you sell you the truth. They want to give you truth because the truth will make you free. People who sell you lies, they want to keep you captive. So anyone who's pandering, you got to look at all panderers, male and female, and say whoever you're pandering to, you hate them because you're lying to them. You're misleading them. You're deceiving them. And eventually you're going to be bereaving them. So I want y'all to understand something, brothers. We're in a sticky space right now, man. Every man needs to be alert to what's going on.
About the moral people of the world. You have to be aware of these women that's out for self, not for the village, because they are about to find themselves back in the village with the villagers, and the fronting like you rich, the fronting like all this is finna be over. I'm telling you, most of my sisters are broke than a motherfucker. Just like most of my brothers are broke. But the sisters was acting like they not broke, holding up drinks on an island that they got there with a buddy pass and all that shit. No, it's finna be time during this administration where this man is literally pouring out all the fish in the pond and letting you see them try to live with no air. He's taking your income away. What jobs do you think will be available for us? When I say us, I'm talking about people of color. What jobs are going to be available for us in the future? You got to learn how to cook again.
You got to learn how to cook again.
No.
Let me tell y'all something, brothers. Anything that's upside down will eventually have to be turned right side up.
Right side up.
Anything that's going in the wrong direction will eventually have to go back into the right direction, or else it's going to be perennially lost. It's going to be eternally lost. It's going to be infinitely lost. I want y'all to understand something, brothers. We must keep in mind that the way things are in this society are not the way they were intended to be. God didn't intend things to be this way. God didn't intend for women to be out here acting like they acting out animalistic and wilding out, man, and just being over-sexualized. That's not the way it was intended. God intended for us as men to be stepping and fetching and kowtowing to our women, to be bowing down to them, to be acting as if they are our gods, he didn't intend that. All of this is punishment. All of this topsy-turviness is punishment. When the males become more feminine and the men and the women become more masculine, it's topsy-turvy, it's punishment. When you meet a woman and she has masculine energy, it's toxic, it's foul, it's just not a good thing for you if you're a masculine man. It bothers you, it rocks you to your core, because these things aren't meant to be. They aren't meant to be. And the reality is this, it's just starting. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Let me tell y'all something. When we're talking about, when they say women have all the houses and all that, that's cool. Because as a man by yourself, man, you don't want the maintenance of living in a house all the time. When we buy property as investment property, rental properties. We don't buy them to live in.
Right.
As a single man, dog, what do you need with a huge crib?
Exactly.
What do you need with it? If you have children, that's a totally different thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this. If you have children, it's okay for you to have a bedroom for every child you got. You got 5 children, it's okay for you to have 5 bedrooms. You have them all in the house at the same time. And I ain't talking about just little children. I'm talking about even if you have 5 adult children. If you have 5 adult children and you got 5 bedrooms, cool. Well, 6 bedrooms rather. That's cool. But some of you guys are out here being taught to move like women. Let me go out here, and the first thing I need to do when I'm fresh out of college is go out here. I need to get this brand new car debt, and then I need to go get this brand new home debt, and then on top of my student loan debt. So you just like a woman, you in $300,000, $400,000, sometimes $500,000 worth of debt before you're 35 years old. If you in $500,000 worth of debt at 35 years old, you're gonna still be in debt when you're 55 years old. Because you've already spread yourself thin. So all your money coming in is going to bills. So what do you got to do? Work your fingers to the bone to pay your bills. Let me tell you what freedom is. Freedom is minimal debt. Minimal debt. That's freedom. If you got minimal debt, let's say someone who has no debt. If you have no debt, you can ball like a dog if you bring home $50,000 a year. Bring home now. You can ball like a dog. You can do everything. You can pay for everything you need. Think about this. If you bring home, let's say you bring home $48,000. You bring home $48,000 a year. That's $4,000 a month. What if it only costs you $2,000 to live? Now you may say, man, how is it gonna cost you $2,000 to live? Believe me, if you search, it don't matter where you live. If you search the right place, you can find something nice for $2,000. Trust me. But let's say it take you $3,000 to live. Let's say you got another stream of income, because we all want to have multiple streams of income. You got another stream of income that bring you in another $3,000 a month. Okay, so if it take you $3,000 to live, you got $1,000 left from your regular salary, then you got $3,000 a month. That's extra $4,000 a month. The majority of people don't have an extra $4,000 a month. The majority of people barely make $4,000 a month. I'm talking about bring home. I'm not even talking about bring home. The majority of people, man, you gotta understand. There's quite a few people in the United States that don't make $50,000 a year. We're not talking about bring home. We're talking about their gross salary is not $50,000 a year. But you look at their crib, they got a brand new car in the yard, 2 brand new cars. They got a bike, they got a boat, they got a closet full of fly clothes. I'm talking about, man, they spending money on clothes like crazy. Spending money on clothes like crazy. One thing happens in life, one thing, and they lose everything. But that's how a woman lives. A woman lives out of control financially. Now you have some who make so much money that they make too much money to mess it up with their lifestyle. But that's few. That's few, dog.
Oh, that's few and far in between.
All kinds of money. I know women who make 175, 200, 250, 275, 350 a year, and still basically be living check to check, stressed out. I'm talking about, listen, don't even blow no money. Now, now there's men out here who live like that too, but they blow a lot of money. I'm talking about women who don't blow money. They just done piled up that many bills. All right, let's get back into it.
She was usually like dating masculine guys. Yeah. So. Yeah. Terrible.
All right. So I'm going to finish it off with this one, guys. Oh, boy.
Being with Tiante, I've learned that it's best to be with a feminine man because they understand you more. It's hard trying to teach a masculine man how to feel sometimes or how to treat you. I don't have to worry about that. I mean, we just kind of dress alike sometimes, and that's really the only thing. He's who he is.
I want y'all to think about this, man. Here's what's gonna really blow y'all mind. The comments. When we get to the comments, man, y'all, the comments gonna blow y'all mind, dog. The comments represent that the modern woman would rather just she would really rather date herself. She's so full of herself. She's so cocky. She's so narcissistic that she would rather just date herself. Us as men, we just want to find out where the good women at in the world. Like, we literally still are old school traditional men. We just want to find where the good women at in the world. Where's the woman who actually fits into the wife position, who actually understands and is proud to come in and take care of her home, who's really proud to do the things that Proverbs 31 says a woman does? Where are they? Because they sure ain't in America.
Colombia, Brazil.
You are what they call like a feminine man.
Yes, a feminine man that dates women.
That dates women, but you don't date men.
You know what? In high school, people always put this gay stigma on me, but I never really resonated with it, and it never matched my lifestyle. I just felt like I always was attracted to women.
But you just like looking like a woman. I'm just asking.
No. I don't feel like I like looking like a woman. I feel like I balance my energies well. Like, sometimes I feel like I want to tap more into my masculine side. Sometimes I want to tap more into my feminine side. But I just combine them both with my personality and my style.
But you didn't answer the question. Have you ever dated men before?
Men have tried to talk to me at one point in high school.
I would imagine so.
Now, I want y'all to think about this. That's a straight question. See how that question ain't being answered? That's just a straight question. Have you or have you not? But wait till we get to the comments. Just wait till we get to the comments.
Yeah, all the time in my DM. At one point in high school, you know how society is. Like, at one point I felt like I needed to fit that stereotype because there was so much pressure. Everybody was always like, UK, CC, F word, F slur.
Oh, like, wow. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I always felt like I had to fit that mold.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this comment. He tried it, didn't like it, and realized he preferred women. What's hard? Now, these are all women comments, bro. This is why I'm telling you, dog, I am absolutely done. I am done with American women, dog. Listen, bro, I am done with them. I don't want to meet no American woman. I don't want to greet no American woman. I don't want to see no American woman. And you know damn well I ain't finna eat or freak no American woman, dog. I am done. And not because every single one of them is like this, but so many of them are. Man, I don't have time to sift through the mess to get to the best. You understand me? I don't have time to sift through no mess to get to the best when I have access to women all over the world. I have access to women all over the world. Now look at this. If y'all don't let this beautiful baby exist in his skin, that's an old chick. Now look at here. He seems happy and knows who he is. Okay, here go another chick saying androgynous. Let's keep going. That's more. That's more. All right, look at this. Prince looked feminine and he always had the baddest females. Here's the thing. I will say Prince, he damn sure was androgynous, but when you talk to Prince sounded like a man when you talked to him. His voice was deep. He didn't try to make himself sound like a female. This guy is making himself, I don't know if he's making himself, but he sounds like a female when he talks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Prince was way out there. He did a video pants with his cheeks out. Yeah, man, he was way out there. You know what I mean? But when he sat down, he talked to you like a man. And his voice was deep. You understand? So how he lived his lifestyle, that's one thing. But I'm going to be honest with you. When we're talking about Prince, we're talking about, hey, look, I know Prince said one time, man, he dressed like he drank because that's what the girls like. I don't know if they like him or with his cheeks hanging out his pants, though. But y'all peep game. His aura is beautiful and resonates through camera. That's all I see. He's balanced. I just hate of all the platform he went on Tasha K for an interview. Y'all keep on going, man. We got more. Y'all look at the comments. This is why I clip these comments, because I want y'all to see the comments. All of these are women. I'm happy you're able to talk about this with people that don't understand, and that's great. But personally, I feel why you should have to explain yourself. You know who you are, you know your worth, and what interests you. Trying to have people understand you in this society, no less, is taxing. He loves women. What's wrong with that? He's a beautiful man. I really like how comfortable he is with his style. Stay strong and do what makes you happy. Why is the search denial is a river in Egypt? Listen what I'm telling y'all. The women in this society believe that's what a beautiful man is. They don't believe a masculine man is beautiful. I'm telling y'all, they are not attracted to masculine men. Listen, bro, I've been coming across women like this for a long time, dog. Listen, I'm a masculine man, dog. My testosterone is high. You see this beard, man, it'll grow as thick and full as I want it to grow. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, man, listen, bro, if I don't watch it, man, when I was growing up, we couldn't wait to have hair on our chest. When I was growing up, having hair on your chest represented that you were becoming a man, boy. Man, we used to run and tell our daddy, man, about that we finally got a couple of black hairs on our chest, man. We there. We used to run, boy. We couldn't wait to see some more than that little peach fuzz on our chin. Man, we started getting a little razzle up under that chin, boy. We was excited. You understand me? Man, we was lit because that's what manhood and masculinity meant. It meant watching you turn into what testosterone turns you into when it's high. Now this is what they're attracted to. Why is now? Let's keep going. Man, there's a one more page of comments. Y'all keep looking at the comments, man. Let him be. Chris.
All right, I'm good on this video. I'm probably gonna do the second half of the video probably later this week. I don't know. I will figure it out. That I will figure out. All right. So let me get to a couple more of these comments, and then I'm gonna get ready to close out here. Let's see. Yeah, make sure that you guys subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships channel. Definitely make sure that you check out his YouTube. I agree with what you said there. Oprah is a billionaire and she can't get an eligible rich man. Only a person she can approach is a boy. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, how long has she been rocking out with Stedman? Shit, who knows, man? Please don't confuse males with men. Agreed. I agree with that. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. That's true. I see so many women struggling because they refuse to be with the men. Yeah. Too much ego. As Kevin Samuels would tell some of these women, put your dick up. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I see a lot more homeless women nowadays. Yeah. Derek Jackson. Yep. Okay, these guys are talking to each other. Slavery started with debt. Yep. Um, these foreigners don't know how poor people in America are. Most of these folks live better in their country than America live in their country. Yep. Nasty work. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and of course, likes are free 99. Definitely make sure that you get hook your brother up. Yes, yes, it's too many of that in the United States. Wow, Mr. Dacus, the navigator, peace family. Man, where have you been, man? Man, there's people I haven't seen in a minute. I may have to start doing my live streams earlier. Yes, there are females calling. Yep, absolutely. Look at the stuff that, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Now, I will say that this is an outlier, right? Because they will support that, but like we all know, most actually, you know what, man? Like I would say, if you're under 25, um, or under 30, yeah, you may support. Oh wow, okay. Man, my man Tim Howard is holding it down for your boy. He just gifted 5 memberships. Absolutely. Yo, that's love. That is love, man. Shout out to my man Tim Howard, man. Okay. G Turner, Sir Yeetus, Razor Rays, Culture Invasion. My man JM. Is that J Mees? I wonder if that's J Mees. Yeah, but shout out to G Turner, Sir Yeetus, Razor Rays, Culture Invasion, and JM for for receiving the membership. Salute to Kings and Dreams. Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely make sure you do subscribe to my Rumble. Um, even when we were kids, black girls preferred the boys who look girly, aka pretty boys. And women are masculine. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look at the stuff. Yeah, absolutely, man. This is crazy. It's crazy work, man. It's crazy work. All right. Well, I'm about to get off here. I wanted to do 90 minutes. Definitely big shout out to my moderators, came through in a big way for me today. Shout out to my man Tim Howard for gifting out those memberships. Make sure that you do me a solid. I'm trying to build my Rumble, so my Rumble channel. Make sure that you do like and subscribe to that. Really, really would appreciate that. Definitely going to be dropping some Rumble exclusive content on there, especially when it comes to like dating breakdowns, as far as when it comes to like the dating shows and stuff, right? Because YouTube has copywritten stuff, so there's certain things that I can't talk about on YouTube or show on YouTube rather. Um, Shout out to also Alpha Roonery for that live stream. I thought that he dropped a lot of gems in that video. I think that it's important. Um, Getting your passport is in the United States is no longer becoming an option. It's becoming a necessity. Reason it's becoming a necessity is because of the things that I showed tonight, right? You know, when it comes to women being hyper masculine, women not willing to be agreeable, not willing to work with us, how the government has never been on our side as far as when it comes to men is concerned, right? And it's understandable, right? Because most of the consumers are women, right? So here's the thing: if you have women and who spend about 73 cents a minute in the United States, why would you want to have these women with men, right? So it's all a ploy. Having your passport, having relationships outside of the United States, it's just a better option. It's just a better option, right? And again, not saying all women, but like when you look at it, why should I have to sift through all of this, all of this shit to find, this diamond in the rough? Is it even worth trying to sift through all this shit, trying to find diamond in the rough, right? And this is what most men are saying. Now, again, I'm talking about quality men. I'm not talking about, bullshit ass men, who just run and get a passport and, they don't got their shit together, right? I'm talking about men who actually have their shit together. That's extremely important. Let me just convey that. Um, but having your passport is a necessity at this point, right? Definitely appreciate y'all watching. I think I'll be back maybe tomorrow, Wednesday. I got to figure it out. But probably I'll be back tomorrow. But I appreciate you all watching. Oh, before I forget, so not next week, but the week after. So 4th of July week, I will be traveling. I won't disclose that location yet. I'll let you guys know. Now for August, so I will be in Medellin for Festival de las Flores, which is the Flower Festival, which is in Medellin, and then Petronio Alvarez, which is in Cali, Colombia. So your boy will be out in Colombia in August, and I can't wait. I'm excited to meet up with a lot of good people. It's going to be fun. Got some very good and interesting collaborations. So a lot of good things happening for the channel. Again, the second channel I was supposed to launch this week. I probably will get to it next week. So the second channel, I'm still trying to think of a title for it, but I'll be talking about more like music, entertainment, more like pop culture stuff. And this channel, I'm going to stick to when it comes to travel and interrelationship dating dynamics and mental and physical health, and also financial literacy and things of that sort. But the other channel is going to be talking about like sports, music, entertainment, and you'll actually get a chance to hear more stories of me throwing events, and so I'll actually probably have maybe a couple of famous guests here or there. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for that. And then I'm working on the third channel, where I'm going to do a channel with Young Kings and Dreams, man. So that's going to be a kids channel. But I'm here to work and I'm here to stay. All right. I'm very serious about what I do, and I take what I do very seriously. And I appreciate you all for watching. Make sure that you do subscribe to Rumble because yeah, the work doesn't stop here, man. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Peace and love. Stay purposely purposeful. And I'm out. Peace.